And back here with the good sheriff of Limestone County, been in office 31 years?
Well, this is my 31st year.
31st year. Because, Jeanette was up there trying to figure how many rodeos have been. She's all thinks this is 35th. I said, I think we just had the 30th.
No, we just do one a year.
We just do one a year. And still going on again this year.
Absolutely.
Getting ready for it, actually.
Getting ready for it. And then, of course, we've got our Triad Trail Ride, our 18th annual Triad Trail Ride. And that's our Triad, that's a national organization that's for catering to our senior citizens in our community as it pertains to law enforcement needs. And we have a SALT Council, which is an organization that of senior advisors to the sheriff and the chiefs of police in the county. And they have been responsible for raising the money for our Project Lifesaver, which is the bracelets that family members can get for if they have someone that's a victim of Alzheimer's or dementia. And so that's what we use the money for from the Triad Trail Ride. And that's coming up a week from Sunday, the 28th, Neil Johnson's farm, Minor Hill, Tennessee. And
now, what, y'all ride all day?
No. The gates.
Y'all got food also available.
We will be feeding. Charlie Cawthon and Kathy be cooking chicken stew, and after we get through with the ride, then, and if you don't have a horse, don't want to come up there and ride, you can come up there and eat some chicken stew if you want to. But it starts at 2 p.m. Gates open at 10. We encourage people to get up there as soon as they get out of church.
Danny Johnson was up at Elkmont over the weekend. We aired that video yesterday in part of the Roadrunner segment, and you were in it. So you were up at milking goats or eating goat cheese or what were you doing?
Oh, that was the Bella Cherie.
Yeah,
I've been a customer of theirs for over 10 years.
You think she'll ever make it? She know what she's doing.
Well, hey, let me tell you what. I cook with a lot of the goat cheese, a lot of dishes I make, but I've been going to the creamery up there on Bethel Road for years. I mean, before they ate it at the White House.
Well, they got a pretty good thing going up there, doesn't they? That tourism thing they're going to have.
They really do.
She actually contacted me last night on Facebook, so she's going to be joining us in the next week or so.
Hey, listen, I mean, she has really put together, I mean, that
Great
place has been there for a while, but after she bought it, she has really done a lot in marketing and got a lot of different flavors. The goat cheese with the fig in it. Oh, man, that's good.
All right, Sheriff, what's up with this gun legislation they're trying to pass down in Montgomery? You have come out as a critic of this.
Well, first and foremost, let me make sure, and I'm going to talk slower on this because, and if you start rushing me, I'm just going to get slower and slower. But
welcome to the Mike Blakely Show.
I'm a strong supporter of the Second Amendment. I like guns. I believe for 30 years I've been sheriff, we've had firearms classes for the ladies here in the county. As a matter of fact, we had one last night, and they'll be going to the firing range tomorrow. But we believe, and we've advocated for people to have firearms for personal protection, or if they want them just because they want to target practice, or they want to go hunting, or if they just want to collect them or invest in them. You know, we're strong supporters and very pro-gun, but for some reason, there are some organizations, such as the NRA and some of these real extreme groups on this, that if you disagree with them on anything, they try to paint you as some kind of liberal that's against guns. But somebody had even written a letter to the editor about that long, lambasting me about coming out against this legislation, and of course he blamed it on the fact that I'm a lifelong Democrat. That's basically the only thing he got right in the letters. Yes, I'm a lifelong Democrat, but I don't know if he realized it, but one of the Democratic senators is a co-sponsor of this bill, and it's a horrible bill. One thing that my attorney was looking at this bill, it's about 40-something pages long. It says in there, the purpose of this section is to establish within the legislature complete control and regulation of policies pertaining to firearms, goes on down, which he says, you know, really, we've already got a guarantee on the Second Amendment. When the legislature starts adopting complete control and regulation of everything pertaining to firearms, then what happens if you get another legislature in there that completely different from the views of the ones that they have right now? But the problem with this bill is there's a lot of public safety issues. There's a lot of issues in there that I think if people would read the bill and knew what it contained, they'd be totally upset about it. It's also provisions in here that basically takes away some of your property rights as far as being if you're a business person or even in your own home, pertaining to people that might come to your location that may be wearing firearms and you don't want them there. But, you know, we are the most user-friendly at the Limestone County Sheriff's Office in people obtaining handgun permits for concealed carry. You know, you can come into the Limestone County Sheriff's Office, it takes just a matter of a few minutes. We open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We're very few sheriff's offices in the state of Alabama that you
I
can
didn't know
go
that.
24 hours a day and get your permit. So we don't try to, we advocate and we like for people that are responsible people. Now, if you're a convicted felon, if you're a habitual drug user, alcoholic, or a known dope dealer, if you've been arrested for child molestation, no, you're not going to get no permit. But if you're a good citizen, we want you to have them. But I think one of the things that a lot of these people don't understand is where they really advocating the open carry aspect of it, where you go in and sit down out here at Chick-fil-A with your guns on. If you and I can do that, and any other good person can do that, you've got to remember, your gangbangers, your thugs, everybody else going to be able to do that too, because they're going to have the same rights you have. And do we really want that?
No, we don't want that.
Well,
We don't want to go
there
to a
are
restaurant,
groups that are
everybody's got guns
advocating
on
it,
them.
and one of the reasons that I
Are we
was
going back to the Wild Wild West?
well, one thing, and I mentioned to you yesterday, even Wide Earp used to make them cowboys check their guns when they come into town because they knew it was going to be a
Can you do that in
bloodbath.
Athens?
Well, right now you can with the requirement of permits and things like that. But the sad thing about it is there was not a lot of thought put in this bill. Every legislator that I've talked with really knows it's a bad bill, but they're scared of the NRA and the gun lobby. Now, they had enough gonads to stand up to AEA. Why can't they stand up to the NRA?
They're not going to do it.
No, they're not, because it's too much money gets thrown into their campaigns to help them get elected or to defeat them if they oppose the NRA.
But you are not opposed to people.
I'm not
coming in
opposed.
and having
Listen,
guns.
I'm very pro-gun. My grandson, when he was 6 years old, I bought him a rifle. He and I like to go out and target shoot, and I hope that when he gets grown, if he has a son, that he'll be able to buy him one. But legislation such as this and a lot of these extremist groups may work towards causing us to lose some of our gun rights. I mean, when every one of them tells you there's really, Alabama's pretty open as far as people having, keeping and bearing arms. There's not been a problem. So why fix something if you hadn't had a problem?
Now, are you totally satisfied with what the legislators of Montgomery are doing right now?
Do not cuss.
I'm just hoping if they continue like they are, it's going to be a good day for Democrats in 2014.
You know what? I'm going to come out, Mike, out of the closet on you on this one. I agree with you. Because I used to be kind of a Republican-oriented and still tend to go some that way. I'm an independent now. I don't like a lot of things they're doing. I think they're too right-wing. They're just keeping Alabama where we are. Nowhere.
Well, and by the same token, in Alabama, Democrats, most Democrats that I know are very conservative. They have the same values that everybody else. I don't agree with a lot of the social agenda of the Democratic Party.
They tying you in with Obama.
Well, he's never given me a campaign donation, and I've never given him one. So,
Good point.
But there's some things that my preacher may say that I don't agree with. But just because he says that, I'm not going to change religions. I mean, if I've been a Church of Christ all my life, that's what I intend to stay.
You are running for sheriff again, aren't you?
I'm thinking about it.
As a Democrat.
You are.
Well,
As of right now.
if you've been,
You've been successful so far, so why change?
Oh, and I understand. The mood, but the perception is, a lot of people think they totally disregard
Is
the
Nancy
person.
Pelosi over at your house anytime?
I wouldn't know her if I seen her. I mean, because she's not somebody that I would probably want to go out to eat down here at Chick-fil-A with. But the bottom line is, I am a
Buy
Democrat.
her yogurt at Art Chill.
Well, yeah, I'd buy anybody some yogurt.
you choked on
But what people need to understand is, just like down in the legislature, it's not just. This is not just a Republican agenda. Like I said, Roger Bedford is. He co-sponsors this bill. He's a Democrat. But and I hope the person that wrote the letter to the editor, if he'd like to discuss and let me show
That's
him.
one letter, Mike. Out of
but I think
thousands of more
I
supporters.
think the gentleman, I don't even know him, but if he read this, he would say, maybe it's not because the sheriff's a Democrat that he's against that. It may be because this is stupid.
It is stupid. When are you going to start campaigning?
We started that campaign after I got elected in 2010.
I know you did. We'll be talking a whole lot more with Nick in the coming weeks getting ready for the rodeo. Let's go out on this Friday morning with Barry Kay, little Local and Loved. Let me walk over and chat with him a second. Local and Loved, and we'll be back just a second. Y'all, hang on. I couldn't do no work. Probate judge.
Are we going to talk or sing first?
Well, you're going to do
Talk
both.
first.
How was your trip back from New York?
Hey, it was good. Thank you, man. I had a really good
How many miles to gallons you get in that little car you got?
54 miles a gallon Honda Insight.
Yeah.
I can't, I can't recommend a car as well as I recommend.
All right, Barry Kay, he's the man. Y'all need him for any parties, whatever, let him know. Sing one for us, Barry. Let's get out of here. I want to enjoy the weekend.
Thank you, Jamie. Here's an original song on my latest Jude CD. It's called Let Him Have His Moment. We were maybe 17, my best friend and I, when he told me about a pretty girl who caught his eye. I didn't have the guts to tell him that I kinda liked her too. So when he said he thought he'd ask her out, seemed the thing to do was to let him have his moment. Another chance will come along, and I can show her how I feel. Maybe write her a special song, and she'll be so impressed with me she won't know what to do. Since I doubt she'll mind being noticed by not just one great guy, but two, I let him have his moment. I let him have his moment. Now don't ask me how the three of us got from there to here. We're all friends. She's been with me now for 15 years. Sometimes he'll drop his kids off with us and they'll play with our son. The other day they were kind of loud and rowdy. I was trying to get something done. So I went up to them, about to make them settle down. But something stopped me, made me smile and turn around. I thought, let them have their moment. They won't be this age for long. Rushing through the house with lightsabers and Darth Vader helmets on. A little noise and ruckus is a tiny price to pay for the happiness and love we've known along the way. So I let them have their moment. I let them have their moment. What they all say is true. It all goes by so fast, and there is nothing we can do to slow it down or make it last. So I will do my best to use the time that I've got left for what really matters. I'm so far behind at work, seems my life's become a mess. I was rushing through the house today and saw my Bible on the desk. It didn't take me long to power down my phone and lay down my keys, to close each window of my computer and drop to my knees. Let him have his moment. It won't be this way for long. Someday all these small distractions that come between us will be gone. When I'm face to face with him, these old bones will be like new. Since he created time and space, the very least that I can do now is to let him have his moment.